Hurry, dear.
Honey. That's one. And another set?
Yeah. Not them blue ones.
This one don't have any wires on it.
Okay, so then it's not those. They got them somewhere. Honey. Honey.
What?
Look, you got a car. Watch the wires and stuff, honey. Be careful. If it's too loud.
Y'all plugged in? She plugged in?
Yes. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome to Jazzabrations Live, and I'm your host, Linda Morgan. Thank you for joining us and taking this ride with us on this last Sunday of Women's History Month. That's right, March. We have celebrated Women's History Month all month. And as you heard us on our intro song, that was Miss Sherry Pruitt right there on the mic coming in from last week. Hey, Sherry, if you're watching, call in and say, hey, I know you're busy on this Sunday afternoon, but we're still paying tribute to you in Women's History Month. I am so excited about our show today. We have a big celebration going on right now here in Leimert Park. The Babes and Ricky's Reunion Jam. They have been doing it for so many years, and my guest is here with me who's going to give us the rundown and the lowdown of what's happening. None other than Blues. I call her blues historian because she knows all about blues. None other than my blues legend, Miss Retha Spencer. Welcome to the show, Miss Retha.
Hey there, Linda. It's really great to be here, but you're right. There's a lot going on right across the street at the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center. Babe and Ricky's Reunion Jam. I think this is number 8. They started out about 10 years ago.
Oh, great. So, yes, if you want to hear some blues on this Sunday afternoon, it's going to be going on till, I believe, 6 o'clock this evening. So you got time to get down here. It's on 43rd and Degnan, 4305 Degnan Boulevard.
Right. And as a matter of fact, Miss Sherry Pruitt is over there right now. She's probably performing right now. Because I saw her as I was walking out the door. She was walking in the door.
That's right. And that's a song that we just played, Miss Sherry Pruitt. Girlie, I know you probably performing, so you're not going to be able to see us. But we may catch you later on this evening because this is our bluesy Sunday for all of us today. So let's just jump right in, Miss Retha. Let's talk about women in blues. This is all about women in blues and the blues that's going on at Barbara Morrison's. So let's take my listeners, our listening audience, down memory lane on some pioneers of blues.
Well, you know, when you asked me to be on the show, I started thinking about all the women that I know who are in the blues, who have been in the blues, who are coming into the blues, and the list got really long. I was quite surprised. You know, I had to write some of it down. So, you know, Mama Laura was in the blues. Nobody ever doubted just what Mama Laura was all about. I'm told by the musicians who are over there right now playing that they still feel like they're influenced by Mama Laura. She ran the Babe and Ricky's Inn, South Central LA, and it was just a fixture. I understand that people used to roll up there coming in from Beverly Hills in white limousines and from the neighborhood, and everybody just mixed together and enjoying some fried chicken and some good old blues. So a lot of people came through that club. I know Etta James came through that club. I know Mickey Champion, and everybody talks about Mickey Champion, how she didn't even need a microphone. When she was singing, a microphone would have just got in the way. That woman could sing.
Oh, yeah.
And Linda Hopkins, and of course Barbara Morrison. But I think some of the ladies that are over at the club right now, Lady Gigi, Sherry Pruitt, Margaret Love, Rosalie Brooks. I know you know all these women, Jackie Jackson,
Yes.
Dina Michaels. Our friend Kelly Chapeau ran off and moved to Florida. That's too bad, because she was a voice of the blues. But, just a lot of pioneers have gone before us. Of course, now I'm just talking about L.A. If you get outside L.A., now you're going to be talking about some people like Coco Taylor. I don't know, did you know that on her Grammy-nominated album, Force of Nature, my husband, Bobby Hurricane Spencer, has a song on there.
Oh, no!
He wrote Fish in Dirty Water, because the fish in dirty water is better off than in clean air. And
that's awesome.
Coco Taylor fell in love with that song, and she had to have it.
Wow. Well,
So-
that's great for Bobby.
Absolutely. But you know what makes me even happier today is to see some young girls coming up playing the blues. Nora Francesca Germain.
I've heard of her.
She plays a violin like you never heard before. And she's just about yay high, not very high. And that girl came in, she was a graduate of USC Music School. She came in over there to Barbara Morrison's place one night for a jam. Nobody had ever seen her before. I think Lester Land invited her over. And she walked in, she had her little amp, and said, "Can we help you?" "No, I can take care of myself." I mean, this is a girl who's going to take care of herself. She got up there and she played some blues. I mean,
Just blew him away.
Bobby was blown away. He said, "How did that girl learn?" And Bobby would play a lick. She'd play it right after him. She stole his licks right in front of him.
Wow.
So that, and then there's Shy But Fly, another young lady that you'll see around in Long Beach. We see her down in Long Beach quite a bit, and she's got a nice young band. She'll be playing some festivals. So,
Oh, yeah. Shy But Fly, it's spoken word. She started out with spoken word.
did she?
Yes. That girl can put some words, some lyrics to some songs. So, hey, Shy But Fly, I do know you, girlie. When you get up there, reach back down at me. I know you headed there.
Well, I also wanted to mention some other women who are in the blues. Not the people who get on the stage, but
Right.
the people who make things happen.
Like you. Yes.
Yeah. So everybody thinks I'm going to get on the stage someday. I'm not.
Me either.
I came out of music. I was offered a scholarship in music, and Bobby makes me play the bass line so he can practice his horn. But no, I'm not doing that. But I will stay behind the stage. But there are a lot of women out there that, quite honestly, a lot of stuff wouldn't happen if they weren't doing what they're doing.
Absolutely.
So one of them that I wanted to mention is Betsy Brown. She's a fabulous woman. She's helped blues artists get their music out all over the world. When we were in Memphis last year, some DJ from Milan came up to Bobby and said, "Are you the Bobby Spencer that plays Camarilla?" And he said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, Betsy sent me your music, and I've been playing it."
Ever since. Yeah.
So she's fabulous. And then there's the people here locally, like Deborah Royden Dixon. You know her?
No.
I don't know all of her history, but I just know she's been out there working the festivals, and Maylee all day, and Teresa Garcia, and believe me, Michael Gliona. If he didn't have Carolyn doing what she's doing behind the scenes, he wouldn't be able to make all this
Would
stuff
nothing
happen.
be happening.
So, and then just fans like Barbara Toney and Pat Delaney and the people who show up, it means a lot. One person out there, and I think you might be calling in, but maybe you're not, maybe we'll see. Julie Jenkins down in New Orleans. She was someone who came to Babe and Ricky's a lot. She said she's going to miss being here for the jam, and so I sent her the poster and said, just call in and talk to us.
Yes, call in, Miss Jenkins. The number is 323-293-3375. We'd love to hear from you. Anytime someone calls in, we just take a pause for you while we're talking in mid-sentence. So definitely we look forward to anyone calling in and saying hello. telling us your blues stories, your women in blues stories that you have inside of you that you want us to know about. But
You know, Linda,
yes, ma'am.
there's one other person I didn't really mention that I think I should.
Who was that?
Well, you know, she's this woman who wanted to make sure that these artists were taken care of in terms of their families, being able to hold on to their legacies. So she started working a few years ago to try to help these people be known while they're still here.
Yeah.
Instead of after they're gone. You know, I think she's associated with something like Jazzabrations or something like that.
That would be me.
That would be you.
Yes,
That would
ma'am.
be you.
Yes, ma'am. We started doing this work 8 years ago, and I was just honoring jazz because Buddy Collette and I, along with Michael White and Linda Hopkins and Cora Bryant, were my early influences around just honoring jazz musicians. And then about the third year, and I told the story last week, I couldn't remember who stepped to me and said, well, who's going to take care of the blues musicians? And I said, you know what? That's Grandma and Grandpa. I got to do both. And so I started and I added the blues legends. And I believe Miss Hopkins came first, and then as we just went on, I just started adding more and more. So you can't have one without the other.
Well, it's really hard to separate the blues and jazz anyway, you know?
Yes.
Bobby just did a gig on Friday night, and we called it Bluesy Bebop because
That's right.
you can't play jazz without having the blues just
influence it,
be all over it. And I'm trying to think who it was that this is what happens when you're getting old.
No.
Somebody asked, you know, well, how you get to be a good jazz? It was Bird, Charlie Parker. Somebody asked Charlie Parker, how do I get to be a really good jazz musician? And he said, go out and learn all the blues you can.
That's right.
So you got to have the blues. You got to have the blues.
Can't have one without the other. And so with that, we're going to play a little bit of a snippet from the reunion. Y'all take a look at this. Just a quick little snippet of what's going on at Barbara Morrison's Performing Arts Center here. And like we said, it's going on to 6 o'clock today. The Babes and Ricky Reunion Jam. We'll be right back with you here on Jazzabrations Live. I love technology. And you got a steady hand like me.
Hmm?
Steady hand when you video it. Do you have it on a stand?
I didn't know.
Is that Bobby Spencer on the bass?
No, he's on the horn in the middle.
Oh.
We need to get a big backdrop of Babes and Ricky.
It would be nice.
Who is that singing?
That is Tony Abera. This is the Mighty Balls of Fire, the original house band there. Except Eric Garcia should be there, and Dap on drums. ever hear of Sugar Pie DeSanto?
Hmm?
You ever hear of Sugar Pie DeSanto? Quite a cut. I should mention her. She and Etta James were assigned to chess at the same time. Both of them. Well, Etta was from the Bay originally, and so was Sugar Pie. And Sugar Pie is still playing out there.
Hey, y'all, what happened there? Thank you so much for that little clip of the show. That's what's going on at Barbara Morrison's right now. I'm your host, Linda Morgan, here with Jazzabrations, and I'm sitting here with my guest, Miss Retha Spencer, and we are talking all about women in blues for this final Sunday in March here at Jazzabrations Live at Morris Media Studios. My engineers are over there rocking it. Hey, LaRon. Hey, Mr. Johnny. You guys are doing the thing. I'm going to send you another video so you can hook it up, LaRon, later on. But, yes. So, there's been so many women who have pioneered in blues. Does Sweet Baby J play a lot of blues?
Who is?
Sweet Baby J. She plays this like a washboard like thing.
I just don't know that much about her. There's so many women out there, I can't keep track of all of them.
I know.
But I really intended to mention, though, Sister Rosetta Tharpe,
Yes.
Sister Rosetta Tharpe is the one who really started it all. Unfortunately, she left this earth in 1973. She was eligible for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1963, and would you believe that only this year is she being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? And she was, honestly, the first woman, without a Sister Rosetta Tharpe, there would not be any Elvis Presley. There would not, she brought that gospel into the music. And I know we're not talking about rock and roll, but you know what? If, what they say, if blues have a baby, it'd be named rock and roll, or something like that.
That's right.
But Sister Rosetta Tharpe, I think if I were to name one woman who started it all, that would be her. And she played the guitar, the electric guitar, Little Richard was influenced by her, Johnny Cash was influenced, Jerry Lee Lewis, they were influenced deeply by her. So I'm really thrilled she's going to be inducted this year.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's about time. It does take them some time to get to this stuff.
Right. And just even in the few women that I've come in contact with who sings in blues, like you mentioned earlier, Lady Gigi, Margaret Love, Sherry Pruitt, and I was telling Sherry last week when she was here, everybody can't sing Wang Dang Doodle. And like you said,
Sherry, other than Coco, Coco, I put Coco and Sherry up there together, but there are some other divas out there like Ava Dupree, and there's a lot of these women out there. One of the saddest ones for me to see go was Susan Thomas.
Oh, right.
She played with the Blues Church, and I hated to see her leave us, but I was fortunate enough to see Etta James just in the very
Did
last...
you see her at Hollywood Bowl?
I didn't. No,
Okay.
I saw her. You know what? When I saw her, I was sitting as close to her as I am to you right now. I worked for HP, and I flew in on a Sunday afternoon, and I saw this billboard in Las Vegas that said she was showing that night. So I asked the concierge, can you get me a ticket? I got front
row.
Center, and she had her boys on drums, and her husband was out there hawking her book, Rage to Live, and the woman should have been dead or in prison a long time before that. But,
based on what she put in the book?
Yeah, it's her story, and that woman lived life to the fullest. She signed on Chess Records, and another woman that Sugar Pie DeSanto, up from, I don't know if she's originally from Oakland or San Francisco, from the Bay Area, and she and Etta were on Chess Records at the same time. And Sugar Pie, what a riot. She's just as likely to be, singing and carrying on, and then the bass player walks up and she might just jump and grab him, wrap her legs around his waist, and you never know what Sugar Pie is going to do.
That's I was telling the story about I saw Etta James. Bubba Jackson took me to the Hollywood Bowl to see it, and it was my first time seeing it, and I was like in shock. She was
She's
up there
the sexiest 70-year-old woman I ever saw.
Yes, sassy, cussing, grouchiness was going on with her, but they loved it. That was her.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was her personality.
Yeah.
So, hey, Etta James, to you, dear. I know you have laid down some roads for a lot of people to follow. So, good
Absolutely.
for you.
You know, as far as guitar players, have you ever been to Chicago, up to Kingston Mines?
No.
Oh, my word. I mean, you know, when I was traveling for HP and I did a lot of shows in Chicago, I'd always go out to Kingston Mines. I didn't know it was the blues. I didn't know what that music was that I liked. I just knew I liked to go out there. This Joanna Connor, she can play the blues. I mean, where some guy might do this lick and think, ooh, I'm good. I mean, she'd do that and about 15 more.
Oh,
and
that.
you know what I love about her? She's a big woman. She's a big woman. She's very comfortable in her own skin. I mean, she does not care what she looks like. She's got some electric blue fur boots that she wears, and she'll wear kind of a shapeless jersey t-shirt kind of dress that, I mean, it's just, she's perfectly okay with that. She's so comfortable in her own skin, and I love that about women. I love women who just doing what they do. To heck with all the rest of it.
That's right. I mean, and you could be comfortable, and that's what I was telling Sherry about the blues. Blues songs are life. It's somebody's life that they're singing about. It's their own life. They're breathing into this song, and with music, the words. And I was telling her about, oh God, he's no longer here with us. You'll know. He was a mentor to Ray. And he said, don't take nothing with you. He had a song.
Oh, my God, Jamie Powell.
Yes.
Jamie Blues Boy Powell. He said,
yes.
When you leave, don't take nothing, because not a damn thing belongs to you. I'm sorry, can I say that on the air? It's from the wig on your head down to your shoes, you know, leave it all. and Jamie was a blues shouter.
Yes,
he was a blues shouter, and that man just grabbed my heart the first time I ever met him. And
I know it. I just told her, I said, the songs that some blues artists sing, you can really relate to them because it's talking about life. And blues is that kind of music that gets you involved in the person's life when they sing.
You know what? People are mistaken sometimes. They say, oh, the blues are sad. The blues are sad. Somebody said, oh, you can't dance to the blues. Well, I can dance to the windshield wipers, but, but
you even so, to the blues.
You know, the blues that's what when you got the blues, that's when you need to play the blues.
That's right.
You know, Deacon Jones used to play at Babe and Ricky's, and my husband told me.
Another one of our blues legends.
Yeah, and talk about the power there with Pamela Hill.
Yes.
I mean, that woman made things happen. But Bobby's told me, he said, I could just be down on everything. I got problems with my kids. I got problems with my job. I got problems with my money, which I don't have any of. He says, but I'd walk in there and I'd see Deacon Jones, Hammond organ there. And this is a Babe and Ricky's. He says, and I knew everything's going to be all right.
That's right.
The power of the blues was going to come on me, and I was going to forget it all. By the time he walked out in the evenings, hey, the rest of it doesn't mean anything.
That's right. And coming up this June, you guys will be celebrating 3 years.
3 years, June 28th.
You are one of my couples that I have. I have 3 couples that are jazz and blues legends. It's
of course, I told you made a mistake when you...
No, because you are a blues historian. You know more about blues than any other woman that I know. So those are the things that I looked at when I was thinking about honoring people. People who have history, historians, legends in jazz and blues. And then there's George and Elena Gilliam. And then there is Gloria and Phil. Phil, what's Phil's last name? Ooh, just hit a bump, y'all. You know, you're getting older when you can't think of Phil, when you can't think of their last name.
Bradley?
No. Phil. Ooh.
Well, you know,
we'll come back to that one.
Another musical pair that I just was so sad that we lost Eris this last year. But you know, Bobby Pierce and Eris Pierce. And I know one of them was a legend. Was it Eris or was it
Bobby? I've honored Bobby.
Well,
yes.
Eris is gone, but as far as I'm concerned, that woman was a legend. You know,
Yes.
for many, for several seasons. Bobby played over at
William Gressy.
No, Rose
Oh,
Gale's,
Rose Gale's,
Rose
yes.
Gale's house. Eris on keyboard, Harold Acey on drums, Ron Battle on bass, and Bobby on sax. And that was such a joy because she had such a smile. I mean, did you know that Harold passed?
Yes, Harold Acey. I just saw that. Yeah.
And he could be a little grumpy, and Bobby be, Harold's a little grumpy tonight, and Eris would just smile, and she said, he'd do better if he could.
That's right. He would do better if he could. And that reminds me of just some of the blues songs. I just keep coming back to that because you hear some of these songs and you just make you want to just close your eyes and just bob your head because of the rhythm of some of them. We're still here, y'all. Call us at 323-293-3375. We're taking your calls this afternoon to saying hello to us as we talk about Babes and Rick's Blues Reunion going on till 6 this evening over at Barbara Morrison's Performing Arts Center. Get on over there.
Everybody gets to play. Anybody shows up, you want on that stage, you'll be on that stage.
Oh, yes.
There'll be over 100 people play there today.
Oh, yeah. So it's an open jam. I don't think there's no admission. The admission's free? Or donations. Give donations at the door.
Donate.
Give to this reunion because Michael Gliona. Hey, Michael. I know you're busy running around and you won't have time to call. I ran into Michael last week when we went over to Field Trannies. He was coming in as we was leaving. Sherry had her show over there. She's there on once a month at Field Trannies in Long Beach, and he was coming in and we were talking. So, hey, Mike, you're doing the thing. First Thursdays over at Barbara Morrison is an all blues. Is it all blues?
It is all blues.
It's a blues show. First Thursday blues over there.
And Michael brings red beans and rice.
Red beans and rice on the first Thursday. Now, y'all can't beat that. We got to throw some chicken in there with that. Somebody knows Mama Laura's recipe to her chicken. Tell me, and I'll get somebody to make it, and I'll throw in some chicken over there with the red beans and rice on the first Thursday of every month. But anyway, we'll be right back. We're going to go into another clip, I think, if we have it up, of the reunion that's going on right now. We'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
This is 1 minute. Discuss 1 minute.
Oh, good. We
1
got
minute.
Elizabeth on there.
This was too dry. And that's what's
That's
her name?
Elizabeth Hangman. Hanging.
Okay.
That's Ron Battle's wife.
Oh,
Yeah, she's
Well, I've
just
met
tall
her
and he's
before.
not tall.
all right. That was just a nice little clip. That was Elizabeth hanging on there doing it over at the reunion. Y'all have to come over here and check it out. Soon as we get off the air, we'll be right back over there checking it out till 6 o'clock. And then we're going to head on down to Roscoe's.
A good jam going on down there, blues jam.
That's right. So,
Tad Galrin, Ron Battle, Willie T on drums. It's going to be a good one.
and that starts at 5, right?
It starts 5 to 8, I think.
5 to 8 at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in Long Beach, down on, I think it's Broadway.
It's 730 East Broadway.
East Broadway. So we definitely will be over there this evening going on with some blues. This is a bluesy
And
Sunday.
fried chicken, too.
That's right. Fried chicken as well. So we are just here listening and talking about the blues jam that's going on. And I'm sitting here with Miss Preetha. She is a blues historian married to Bobby Spencer, saxophonist. Bobby Hurricane Spencer, where are you? I know you over there jamming away. You can't break away and take out your phone and give us a call. But we are sitting in here on the Hill for this last Sunday of the month, which is Women's History Month. And we're here talking about all the pioneers. As a matter of fact, Lamar Lubin, which was Linda Hopkins' grandson, he came to my church today, and we were talking about doing something for Miss Hopkins, keeping her legacy alive. And you know, it's sad when, and I am one for giving flowers while people are here.
Absolutely. But
the more and more legends that leave us, and then I don't hear anything about them in years past. Art Hillary, I cannot even tell you how many times I have not heard his name. Or Buddy Collette, or Gerald Wilson. You know, the whole point of me doing what I was doing is to honor them while they were here.
You know what makes me happy? When I go into the Wells Fargo Bank
at
Melrose and La Brea.
Oh, we got it right here, too.
Buddy Collette on the wall.
That's right.
On the wall. Love it.
So they are keeping his legacy alive through art, through Wells Fargo. I don't know who commissioned that, but that was the best thing. I have that picture. I took a picture myself so that I could keep it. Yes. But somebody has to do the work of continuing their legacies when they're no longer here. Still coming up with some concerts to perform and to get people together to remember them. Because just because they're no longer here with us physically, they are still here with us spiritually. You know, I have their birthdays, and I always talk about them on their birthdays. I may post up their postcards that I did when I celebrated them while they were here. You know, you can only do so much work. So that's why I celebrate and give flowers while you're here. So that, you know, the legacies can be remembered. Somebody got to do that work. I'm putting it out there in the universe because somebody needs to pick up the mantle and do that work.
Absolutely. And, you know, the legends are, you know, it's an aging process. It seems to be moving pretty darn fast. So,
yes.
You know,
and I dialed back the number. At first, you had to be 70, and then I started losing everybody. I was like, oh, Lord. And then a jazz historian said to me, Linda, if you think about this, if you was doing this work some time ago, you would have missed everybody. Coltrane, all of them passed before they was 40. So you wouldn't have never even had the opportunity to honor them. And so I changed the criteria, dialed back the number, down to 62, 65, and then said 25 years or more in doing this work. Because 25 years of doing this work is legendary and needs to be recognized. Absolutely. And so that's what I formed the criteria on after so many years. So don't think you need to be 70 to be honored. You know, just do this work, be in it for 25 or more years. And last year we did a whole series. Thank you guys for coming out at the church. Oh, my church in Inglewood, Morningside, every month.
That was a great Vespers series. We love that.
Yes, ma'am. I did that. We did that for a whole year straight. Every month we did that. So now,
talk about a woman, Leslie Baker.
Yes.
Now there's a woman. She plays with the symphony.
Yes.
She plays fabulous jazz, and she plays awesome blues.
Yes, she does.
And we were there for her to be honored at your Vespers.
That's right, Leslie. How are you? I haven't talked to you in a while, but I know you're busy working as always. And so we just wanted to just come here on this Sunday afternoon and play homage to all the women in blues and jazz that are here still with us. Those have gone on before us. Those are the pioneers. And to be able to help the younger generation that's coming up after us to know these names. We just throwing the names out there, but take this opportunity to Google them. Find out some information. Look them up. Research them. Go buy their music. Go to CD Baby, Reverberation, and all the other places where their music is sold. And listen to their music. And get to know who they were. Listen to their blues songs because they definitely shared their lives in those songs.
Absolutely.
And I wish I had the opportunity to meet Coco. I have a video of Mickey Champion. When Barbara did a festival some years ago, right here in the parking lot in Leimert Park, Mickey and Bobby Blue Band was there this year.
Mm-hmm.
Mickey Champion had on this orange jumpsuit. She used to love to wear this orange jumpsuit. Her and my mother, I got video of them dancing. out there in the parking lot.
Terrific.
So I remember her very well. Going, there was somebody else. I couldn't remember her name, but they all would be out there dancing. Now, is Mickey still alive?
No, Mickey passed.
She passed away? Yeah, so, you know, we lose our blues legends, we lose our jazz legends, but the legacies of their lives can still be preserved. Somebody just has to do the work. It takes some work, but somebody can do it. I know there's somebody out there who want to take up the mantle and do some creative work around honoring these fallen blues and jazz legends. So we were going to take a quick break. We're going to play one of Sherry's songs, Sherry Pruitt, who was here with us last week, and we'll come back and we'll finish tapping up this with some more blues history. Bye-bye. We'll be right back.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Oh, yeah. So Barbie is part of the house band at the...
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, well, Mighty Balls of Fire and the other Mules, I mean, there was more than one house band. Different bands, different nights. Ray Bailey had it one night. Bill Clark had it another night. Of course, again...
Because she had blues going on 7 days a week at her place, right?
I'm not sure it was 7, but it was good 4 or 5, I think. No, I know Bobby had Monday nights.
Yeah, I remember. I think I had just started coming over here in this area around 2008 or 9. She was still there.
Yeah, she started out, over on Central
Avenue. Yeah.
And then moved here. And Bobby was never part of Central Avenue. He was on.
What was that?
Kitty cat.
Oh.
He was just a part of the one here.
Yeah.
But again, all of this for me is secondhand. I'm a sponge when I'm around these guys.
Oh yeah, because that's where you hear about so much stuff. I find myself having to get out and really learn more and more. Whose cat is that?
A house cat, I think.
Johnny, you got a house cat?
Is that your cat? Lamont.
LaRon.
LaRon.
He ain't listening, honey.
Is that your cat?
Huh?
Is this your cat?
That's all right, honey. Don't worry about it.
Is this the house cat? Yeah, the cat's in here.
You got a cat in here?
Yeah. Same one I see all the time.
That's all right. Don't worry about
I
it.
usually be out in the parking lot.
Honey, sit down. Don't worry about no cat.
I ain't worried about the cat.
Oh, this was too big to send.
Bye bye, baby.
Huh? Yeah. And Sherry has a crowd going over at Field Trainings. They dance, get up and dance. Them couples be going.
Stand by. 3, 2.
I'll mention Jackie Sackheim.
Yes. Welcome back, you guys. That's Sherry Pruitt. Yes, we are sitting up in here grooving to her on this Sunday afternoon here at Jazzabrations Live at the Morris Media Studio. My engineers are rocking it. Hey, LeBron and Mr. Johnny Morris, thank you guys for riding with me on this Sunday afternoon. I'm here with my guest, Miss Rita Spencer, and we're just talking about blues and what's going on at Barbara Morrison's today, the Babes and Ricky Reunion Jam. call us in and give us a call if you've ever gone to the Babes and Ricky Blues Jam back in the day.
You know, I wanted to mention a lady who knows a lot about blues, Jackie Sackheim.
Oh, okay.
Fabulous photographer. In fact, last year she had a showing in Chicago of women in blues. She had a whole exhibit, and I don't know if it's a traveling exhibit or if it was just a one-time thing in Chicago, but unfortunately her father just passed this last week or so.
Oh.
And she has, for all of these reunion jams, she's been the official photographer. And she get all the, 100 people out there and
take the picture.
Take the official picture. Well, she's not with us here because she's in Chicago with her family. But women like that, they contribute so much. I mean, one of the things that impresses me is blues musicians, are wonderful to photograph. And Bob Berry has shot them, and Rebecca Bogdanovich, or I'm not sure I'm saying that name right, but Jackie has some beautiful photography. But it's so nice, and like Warren Hill, by the way, Sandy, they moved to Chicago. We miss him a lot, but they've been
just
so
had
kind.
something on Facebook I saw recently.
Yeah, they so many of these photographers are nice enough to share that photography with these musicians to allow them to promote their work, because most blues musicians aren't making enough money to go out and hire a photographer to do a headshot and all this.
True.
And I know we've had some beautiful photos that in fact I contributed to the California Jazz and Blues Museum. I contributed a number of photos that were taken by Warren, and I just think it's so kind of people when they share these images with the musicians so that they can promote their work.
There's another person, Troutman, Aesel.
Yes.
He's like a fish. He says, I'm just a fisherman who loves to take pictures. And he does some wonderful, wonderful shots. And, his thing is, too, sharing them with the musicians so that they can have some quality shots.
Well, social media is so important to these musicians. And today, Eric Garcia mentioned it at the show. He said, we hope all you guys are taking a lot of photos and you're going to share them out on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or wherever, because this is how the word gets out. And,
right.
And people recognize the name, they recognize the music style, and that's any of you fans out there. Take lots of pictures and share them, and the musicians love it. I don't know very many musicians who aren't real proud to have their images shared.
Oh, that's true. And then, people don't even understand the exposure of social media. I'll give you a quick story. Jimmy Smith, the drummer, used to live in Japan. And then he came back here to California, and I honored him in the series and created a fan page for him. And I also had created one for Rose Gales, because, they're not going to be getting on the computer.
I'm really happy to hear about that. Rose Gale, I wondered who's taking care of that woman, because wow, what a force she is.
Yeah, she's been doing a jam session on Sundays at the World Stage for over 20 years, they tell me. And so for her to continue that work, but I made this page for Jimmy Smith, and somebody reached out to me on the page looking for him from Japan. Lo and behold, got in touch with him, gave him the information. He ended up doing 3 CDs out of that. He couldn't believe it. He was like, Linda, when he came back, here's your 3 CDs. You ain't gonna believe them people you reached out to. I was like, what? Get out of here. He said, I cannot believe that if you didn't have that page up, they wouldn't have been able to find me. Mm-hmm. So he was so grateful, and that's how I started really. I wanted to do I had these grandiose dreams when I started honoring. It wasn't just about introducing them to the next generation. It was about helping them to do whatever they wanted to do while they're here. Mm-hmm. Starting a foundation for their kids, making sure that their kids have their namesake, so that when they're no longer here, they can start a foundation in their name to keep their legacy going, because that's what it's all about. That's a part of the work that I feel that I really lagged on and didn't really get done, is that all of these artists, all of these legends, children and grandchildren, need to create a foundation to keep the legacy of their legend, grandparent or father alive. Because other words, I can start the work, but I'm not going to be able to carry out all the work for 139 jazz and blues legends as it is right now. And I never started out thinking my number would be 139 in 8 years. But lo and behold, God blessed me to be able to do that work. But the real work is to continue to build and to preserve that legacy. And I was doing this thing back then when I started, something as simple as buying the domain names. And I still talk about this to this day.
That's
if you don't
true.
own your own name, when you leave here, somebody else is going to own it. They're going to erect a site. They're going to be putting up a GoFundMe and a this all over the world, collecting money. Shame on you if you didn't capture that while you were here. Because it's that simple to take your name and buy it as a domain and just you don't even have to put up a website. Just register your name.
URL.
Own the URL. And I could tell you some stories of people like, Kenny Burrell don't own his name. When I honored Marla Gibbs, she didn't own her domain until she went and fought for it and got it. But that's the kind of thing that you want to do that while you're alive, because when you're dead, your family don't have a leg. Because if somebody has been owned it for years and years while they were here and you didn't do anything to try to get it while they were alive, you can forget it when they're dead. Because that's what that person is going to say. You didn't have no interest in this person's name, so now I own it. Now pay me $4,000 or $5,000 if you really want it.
There are people out there who just make a business of going around and buying up those kinds of domain names.
Yes.
And I've been offered domain names for Bobby. We have BobbyHurricane.com. But I have people coming and offering me domain names for him that I know that they do this to turn a profit on somebody else's back.
Exactly. And it's something as simple as that. So, that's the kind of work that I thought that I would be able to get done. I mean, I'm still here and I'm still kicking up. The story is not over. But I'm just saying that's the kind of work that the families need to pick up, that mantle. And just make sure that you have their first and last name .com and .net, or .org, really over .net. Because the .org is what you're going to attach to a foundation if you want to create a legacy and a preservation history for them. So much about that, because that touches a button with me.
Well, one thing about it, I just wish you could show a little more passion.
I know it. But that is what this was all about, preservation. Legacy preservation. Making sure that we keep the blues alive, that we keep jazz alive. Because there was times where people were talking about the blues is dead, jazz is dead, this is dead. If it's so dead, then why are so many people making so much money on it all over the world?
We are seeing more and more young people interested in the blues. It's kind of interesting to see the audiences who are showing up these days. So the blues isn't dead. The blues isn't dead. And I'll tell you, these kids like to dance. This generation likes to dance, and they like to dance to the blues.
That's it. And I know little Ray is out there doing it because he's out in the schools and he's showing up and showing these young kids what blues is all about through his little Ray, his lens. And so definitely we need a lot more young teenagers, millennials, while y'all out there marching. Come on and give us some blues to what's going on currently. You can make some blues songs about what's going on with all that's going on in the world. I'm waiting to listen to hear some blues songs about what the kids are going through right now. These millennials, they can make some. They can definitely come up with some stuff and tell us how they feel and what's really happening in the world. But we've been sitting here, we've been talking about it, and we just wanted to reach out to you on this Sunday afternoon, the last Sunday of the month, giving you some blues history. Retha here has been telling you about some of the pioneers, and she is definitely someone who is a background, like she said, she loves to be in the background and really making it happen. You have been out here promoting and helping jazz blues legends, as well as, your new hubby of 3 years of being true. Yay!
It's a funny thing, Linda. I honestly don't officially manage anybody other than Bobby, and I was managing him before we ever became involved. And but you'd be surprised how many people will introduce me to someone as their manager. And I'm like, okay. But you know why they do that? Because they are so appreciative of anybody who will post pictures for them, of anyone who will intervene when they see that maybe they're not getting a fair deal with a club owner, or just someone who will help them know how to work Facebook or how to work Twitter or Instagram. And so a lot of what I do with, and because I work with a lot of older people, you know, it comes with the territory. I mean, the best blues you can find is down at Bell's Blues Workshop, and I don't know if you ever find anybody in there too much under 65.
I know it. That's what Sherry was telling me about them.
Yeah, Bell's Blues Workshop, awesome. Plus,
Once
you
a
know
month?
the way that, no, it's every Sunday afternoon. Every Sunday afternoon starting at 5 to 9. It's a different host every week. Like Lester Land, I don't know if he's the second of the month, or Tony Ibarra is who we saw on the video earlier. He has 1 week. But it's a workshop. It's, yeah, they do have a house band, but anybody can play. Mr. Bell is just, it's a converted garage, and it's just wonderful. I met some wonderful women at Bell's Blues Workshop. But it's,
and it's been going on for a pretty long time.
It's a long time. And again, there's a donation. Believe me, there's some good food goes with that. You're going to get some good soul food. But the way that I got involved with Ray Gorin was I had seen him out playing with Deacon Jones, and I said to his father, would you like to take your son down to meet some authentic
Blues
blues guys? And you know what? I took him down to Bell's to meet Jamie Powell and Sammy Lee. And when his dad saw Ray stand up between the two of them and they played, it was like magic. And
he knew he had an old soul.
He had an old soul, but that's where the torch is being passed. In fact, Bobby's helped a couple of young saxophone players who've shown up down there.
Christopher, Christopher loves them.
Yeah.
Christopher Astakilka, yeah. We had our scholarship for Adola Coker last week over at Fernando's, and little Miss Darren Dean, her video got over 4,000 views.
Oh yeah, those kids are great. That's what we love about the Central Avenue Jazz Festival, is seeing those kids up on the stage. I always go for those early morning things where you see the young Americans.
That's right.
I'm not sure what the official name of the group is, but they're fabulous.
Absolutely. So we definitely want to reach out to the millennials, my Young and Jazz and Blues Legend page. Reach out to them and post some stuff there on Blues Legends, Jazz Legends to be. That's what I call them. They will be our future. We need to definitely keep them lifted up, encouraged to continue to do the music, to continue to do the work. And as always, it's been great being here with you, Miss Rita, this afternoon.
Been a blast.
It's been a wonderful blast. Here on Jazzabrations Live in Morris Media Studios. We're going to go out on a cherry cut and tell the world to come on down to Barbara Morrison's today.
Got another 2 hours
Got
to go.
a couple of more hours to hear some Wang Dang Doodle Blues for Babe and Ricky's Reunion Jam. Tell them Linda sent you. Go in there and tell them.
Tell them you came because we talked about them.
That's right. Till next Sunday, we won't be here on the air because it is Easter Sunday. We'll see you back on the second Sunday in April, which April is Jazz Appreciation Month. The whole month of April, got lots of stuff going on. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Jazzabrations Live. You'll be able to know about all the great things that's going on in jazz. Until next week, until 2 weeks, see y'all later. Have a great Sunday. Bye-bye.
You're my manager, baby. You're my manager.
I'm not your manager. I ain't managing nothing. I ended 4 minutes early. I don't care. But thank you.
Good show, guys. Very informative.
You know how to fill that space.
Yes.
Wow. I thought it was only 30 minutes. When you, oh no, we gotta get going. I already said everything I know.
That's why I said I ain't gonna try to hold on no more. We did good.
All right. Well,
So
thank
we're
you
gonna
for
walk
inviting me.
We'll ride back around the corner. You have stuff in your car. We can ride with you. Right around the corner.
Hop in.
Okay.
You gotta take a look at my front bumper tag.
What does it say?
It says a hurricane a blowing.
Oh, that's your
Hurricane
cup.
a
I'm
blowing?
gonna empty it out for you.
Good show, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of information. That was great.
Let me have him to put it on my thing, and I'll share it
She
with
got
you.
that gift of gab.
As you guys fit really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea you'd use those video clips. I'm glad I mentioned them to you.
Yes. And that's the power of technology that
Isn't
you
it
can
though?
just, you
But
know.
if you didn't know how to do that, it wouldn't be any power at all.
Yes, that's true. And I've been learning as I go with LeBron. He'll just say, "Oh, I can do that." Then let's see. Okay, let me get mine.
Yeah, that cat came in. I chased it outside, but that cat lives in the parking lot.
Oh, he does?
I see it every time.
Oh.
Just walked in, snooped around.
Hey, corner.
Sherry put his car in last minute.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. It was like right after we were on the show.
What do you say, Sherry called?
Sherry calls.
Sherry just called in.
Yeah.
Let me call her and tell her I'm gonna go to I'm gonna come and
You're not gonna do the Long Beach?
yeah, we're gonna go over there. But we're just gonna go to stick my head in Barbara's right now. Because she got to go get her husband from there.
Right.
Before they head over. But yeah, so yeah.